So as we go along here, have a look out the left side of the bus. So you will see this sign here. It says mile 0, if you can read that. So that is one of 2 mile 0 markers that we have here in Canada. So we have one here in Victoria, British Columbia. And then the other mile 0 marker is all the way across the country, some 5,000 miles away in a city called St. John's, Newfoundland. And the mile 0 markers, what they indicate or what they mark are the beginning and end points of the world's longest stretch of highway, the Trans-Canada Highway, which does stretch for over 5,000 miles. Wow. And to our right, we have a very large, this is the largest public park in all of Greater Victoria. So this one is called Beacon Hill Park. And Beacon Hill Park was a very large parcel of land that was given to the city of Victoria by the Hudson's Bay Company. So before we were a city here in Victoria, we are the capital city of the province. And so when we get downtown, I'll point out we do much like state capitals in the United States with their capitol buildings. We have our own capitol building here in Victoria. It's called our Legislature building, and we will see that once we get downtown. But before we were a city, what was here back, it was built in 1843. And it was a Hudson's Bay Company trading post, a fur trading post called Fort Victoria. And so Fort Victoria, like I said, the actual walls, the fort itself was built in 1843. And the fort actually lasted. It was here for 21 years. But by 1864, the city of Victoria started to grow up outside the walls of the fort. So they no longer needed the fort itself, and so the fort was taken down in 1864. And as we go around and through Beacon Hill Park, you can see it is lit up a little bit at night. It will be tough to see wildlife out here at night, but I will slow down and stop if we happen to see. So we've got many free-range peacocks that call Beacon Hill Park home here. And if we have any around that are trying to cross the street, I will point them out as we go by. So when the Hudson's Bay Company handed over this very large parcel of land to the city of Victoria, they actually put some conditions on the city for the land's use or the park's use. So as we continue through the park and as we go around, you might notice there are no fences or gates around the perimeter of the park. So that was the first rule that the Hudson's Bay Company put on the city of Victoria. They were not allowed to gate or close off the perimeter of the park in any way. Beacon Hill Park was meant to be used by not only the citizens here, but visitors to the city at all times of the day or night. So you can come into Beacon Hill Park any time of the day or night. Parking is all free inside the park. So that was the second condition that the Hudson's Bay Company put on the city when they handed over this large parcel of land. So the city of Victoria is not allowed to generate any income from anything that happens inside the park's boundaries. So in this park, there is a large band shell. Lots of different concerts and things go on and happen there throughout the year. All of admission into anything that happens inside the park is all either free or by donation. And if you have a look out the left, you can just kind of see its shadow there out the left-hand side. So that is the world's tallest freestanding totem pole. And it was, when it was first carved, it was carved out of one singular log. It was carved by an artist, by a carver, by the name of Chief Mungo Martin. It's no longer in one singular piece anymore. They had to take it down a few years ago to do some restoration work to it, and in order to make sure it didn't break, they did have to take it down in pieces. So Beacon Hill Park, like I mentioned, the largest park space or green space that we have here in Greater Victoria. It actually got its name from this small hill that's here to our right. And we have a flagpole at the top of that hill. Not really sure, doesn't look like there's a flag flying on it at the moment. But what they used to do up there at the top of that small hill is they would light a fire up there, and that fire would be a beacon. It would act as a warning to any of the ships out here. There is a very rocky coastline all the way along to our left there. So we are going to make our way past. You may, I know it's a little tough, these night tours make it a little tough to see everything unless they're totally lit up. But just on this green space to our left, where I pointed out the mile 0 marker, see if you can see a statue. You probably will just be able to see it silhouetted just to our right of the mile 0 marker. You can see hopefully see a statue there. You can actually, I can see the base, but on top of that base, on top of that cement base, is a Canadian hero, a young man by the name of Terry Fox. And so Terry Fox, back in the early 80s, he got cancer, and the cancer took his right leg, and he decided, as a teenager, he was quite young, when he made the decision to not let losing his right leg or losing the cancer, or let the cancer keep him down or hold him back. And so he chose to make a cross-Canada journey. And he called his cross-Canada journey the Marathon of Hope. And the reason he called it the Marathon of Hope was every day he would run the equivalent of a marathon, so 26 miles or 42 kilometers. And he started in his home, which was in Ontario, the province of Ontario, and his plan was to come all the way out here and dip his toe in the Pacific Ocean. Now, unfortunately, very early on in his Marathon of Hope, the cancer returned. He had felt quite ill and had to take a break, and it was discovered that the cancer had returned, and he shortly after he did lose his life. He did lose that his battle with cancer. But in the nearly 40 years since we lost Terry Fox, the Terry Fox Foundation still holds runs in his honor every year. School-age children run around their school fields and raising money and awareness for cancer research. And the Terry Fox Foundation has raised well in excess of $150 million in his name since his passing. So he is a true Canadian hero. On the right-hand side, you can see the lights around it. You can actually see a fountain out in the middle. So this is Goodacre Lake. This is a man-made lake right kind of in the heart of Beacon Hill Park. You can see the bridge in the background there. And if you look really closely, you might just see the outline of a log here close to us. So during the day, that log, if we were to drive by here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you actually wouldn't even be able to see any of that log. That log is completely covered in turtles every day, out sunning themselves. And that's actually here in Victoria, that's how we tell how nice a day it is here. I actually have driven by that lake on some summer days, and there has been one day where I have counted 34 turtles out on the log sunning themselves, and here in Victoria we would call that a 34 turtle day. Coming up on the left is our region. It's actually British Columbia and Western Canada's oldest still standing schoolhouse, built in 1895. This is South Park Elementary School, not to be confused with the other South Park Elementary School, the one on TV, the one I guess on MTV. We do not have Kenny or Cartman going to school at our South Park. So we are going to make our stop. I'm thinking we're probably not going to get a spot in front of the museum. So we are going to park. We're going to be a little bit different. We are going to park in front of the Crystal Gardens building. So Crystal Gardens building is here on our right-hand side.
Here comes the totem.
The old spaghetti factory, yep. And yeah, that looks like it. This is where the bus will stay. This will be where you come back to, and we will do our city tour portion. So just to our left is the Empress Hotel, and the conference center, Victoria Conference Center, is here just across the street to the left. So you can either go, so the main street, so right now we are on Douglas Street, which is one of the main streets in and out of the city of Victoria, in and out of downtown. And the next street over is Government Street to our left. And so that is the street where we will have all the kind of the gift shops and the souvenir shops. And they would be just starting a block ahead of us. So if you, when you get off the bus, if you want to just walk ahead and then at the next intersection go left, that will take you down to Government Street. It's also a nice walk to go through the conference center. Lots of really nice plants and flowers in there. And that actually will take you through to the Empress Hotel, which is, I'll talk about the Empress Hotel when we do our city tour portion. So we have an hour. You have an hour to tour around the city. So it's 9 o'clock now, according to my watch. So at 10 o'clock, this bus will be wheels up, and we will be heading out on the last hour of our tour together. So everybody enjoy downtown, and I will see you back here in an hour.
Victoria Conference Center. So they have also here a two-team pool. Yeah. Kita mo yan, two-team. Marami din itong kuwan din dito.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. Yeah. Ikutin natin ito. Maraming mga kabina kasi dito eh. Yan, meron din. Ito, si Victoria Conference Center. Fairmont Empress. Tingnan natin kung ano dito. Oh, we have some souvenirs here. Mga dress here. Chandelier nila dito. Yan, may mga dito. They have applied jewelries here. The Fairmont store. Lobby lounge. Pagkain. Souvenirs. Here. Yan, mga souvenirs. Dito siguro tayo lumabas. Alright, these are the lights here sa Victoria. Ito pala yung sabi nila na City of Lights. Yan. May mga ilaw na. Ayan, yung simbahan nila pinailawan din. Saka ito yung ilaw na nandito. Ang daming mga bulaklak dito, tulips. May mga tulips. Maganda siguro ito pag araw. Kaso gabi lang kasi dito kami pinapasyal. Yan. Tsaka yan, may mga ilaw na. Dito siguro tayo sa labas.